Here we go.
Here we go. We are live, and we appear to be broadcasting on Facebook, and looks like YouTube's going too. I'm gonna shut those down so that my computer knows what it's doing, and we're ready to
You know,
rock.
mate.
Hey, good morning,
Oh.
everyone. Here we are, Simon and Bradley, once again, trying to figure out technology. At least it doesn't seem that we have as many gremlins today as we've had in the past, so that's good
Don't
news.
speak too soon.
Yay! Well, hey, look, it's a successful start. That's good.
That's it. That's the one.
That's good. So it's been a super busy week for both of us, and we haven't really had a chance to catch up with one another. But we do know that we want to talk a little bit today about really how to sort of change the thought that happy customers pay their bills and move it to raving fans refer more customers, and really talk about what that customer journey looks like, what customer service is all about, how we take good care of the people who are already paying us good money, and to understand why that's probably the best use of our time and money, rather than additional, going out and trying to find additional brand new customers, because it can be very expensive. So how are things going for you, Simon?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Been a busy week. Obviously, yesterday we didn't quite manage to get on.
No.
Because things, personal things were going on. But yeah, I got lumbered into painting some of the house yesterday.
Nice.
So I was up till about 1 o'clock painting my porch.
Oh dear Lord.
And hanging a new boxing bag that me and my daughter got. We're going to do a little bit of training and start getting a little bit fitter.
Nice.
So I've got a new boxing bag that was putting up. Give it 3 whacks and it fell off the wall. So I had to put it up again.
Wow.
And it's solid on the wall now.
Good.
I had to use some longer screws to get it up, but yeah, it's up. I haven't had a go yet, but I will be. Probably later today, maybe starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or the next day, or maybe the one after.
Or the next day, or however long it takes to recover, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
My
man.
back's killing me today, mate, from just doing a bit of painting yesterday.
Yeah.
Cutting in and rolling the ceiling, and I'm too old for it.
Well, yeah, every time I'm on a ladder for an extended period of time, my back starts to hurt, just because,
Yeah.
it's not normal, right? You're
using muscles you don't normally stretch.
Yeah, especially if you're like us, we're sitting in a chair most of the day trying to get our work done.
Oh, I think after 40, mate, it just goes boop, straight downhill.
Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. Cool. Well, hey, let's sort of shift gears a little bit and talk about the customer journey that we do have, right? Or that maybe you're starting to see in your business, and some of the customer journeys that I have in my business. Like, they are interested in a solution, we give them a solution, and then all of a sudden, some people just sort of forget about the customer. And
Don't they just?
and I have, maybe we could talk a little bit about some of our own experiences where we've been sort of lost in the process. When was the last time you had kind of a bad customer service experience? What happened?
Personally, I had one about maybe 5 or 6 weeks back.
Okay.
I bought a new product.
Yeah.
I bought the upsell.
Okay.
Which was meant to be a done for you. They do the campaign for you,
Yep.
get you the leads, and do everything was meant to be done for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, the first part of the program, the first front end, wasn't bad. It showed you a new traffic stream. which I will be sharing in my membership as well, because it ain't a bad little one. It's quite easy to use, quite easy to do. It's an old traffic stream that used to be very good. They changed their system and they've redone it.
Okay.
It's not working great yet, but I've had a few bits coming through, because I think they're still kind of building the platform out a bit.
Okay.
But as for the customer experience, my end on the done for you, well, you better start beeping now, mate. No, I'm gonna save the beeping.
Yeah. Keep it clean.
Yeah, well, I got nothing, absolutely nothing. I set up a tracking link and I sent them the link and said, this is the link I want shared for the Done For You campaign.
Yep.
I waited 3 days. I got no response. I got no clicks on the tracking link. I waited a week.
Wow.
Still nothing. I messaged them and said, you know what's happening with the traffic campaign? I've paid for it. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I've sent you the link. I've sent you the details. What's happening?
Yeah.
Still nothing.
Wow.
I didn't get a reply. And then I put in a message. I got peed off pretty bad.
Sure.
Because it wasn't expensive, but it was, it was money out of my pocket.
Yeah.
And I was pretty peed off, mate, that they didn't do nothing. If they'd sent me 5 clicks, I would have said, oh, right, well, they're doing something.
Right.
But, they haven't done nothing. The campaign didn't even get 1 click. It had 1 click that I'd done a test click. That was my own click. And then 7 days later, not a thing. Not 1 click, no response, nothing. So I done the next best thing. After the 7th day, on the 8th day, I sent an email saying, can you please let me know what's going on with this traffic campaign, or I will be refunding. Still nothing.
Wow.
So on the 9th day, I messaged again, sent the same message. Still nothing. On the 10th day, I went, nah, you're taking the nick out of me now. I ain't having it. I got straight onto my PayPal, put in a complaint and went refund.
Wow.
Bang. 24 hours later, refund was in with a message, oh, we're really sorry. We've been so busy. We've not had time to get any campaigns done. That was it.
So this is super interesting. You just said something that is part of one of the challenges I'm starting to see happens with folks who do stuff online in particular. It feels a little bit weird when you're talking about, professional services, or somebody has a retail store or something like that. But they start something, they launch it, they don't have the support system in place. They get so busy that all of a sudden they're not talking, and you and I and everybody else is putting in negative things in the blanks when we don't know what's going on, and so we're guessing, and the guess is they just forgot about us, or the system's broken, or I just got had, all those kinds of bad things, right? So and I'm glad that you shared that, because I kind of was headed the same way. There is a software development team that's doing a lot of apps right now that are pretty good in concept, and they get ready to launch them, and they're like 3/4 of the way there. They sort of learn their lesson on the first couple, where they put some things on the sales page. They launch the product. After they launch the product, when you started using the product, you realize that the features on the sales page weren't actually built in yet. And so it was like vaporware, right? It was you bought a hope and a dream, and then and sometimes that's okay, as long as you're clear up front that this is still under development, it's coming, and some proposed deadlines of when that stuff is coming, and so what's interesting about this team, it's similar, where they would launch, and then they would get overwhelmed. They wouldn't talk to anybody. Support was slow. And then somehow or another, the development team started working on another product, and then another product, and another product. You feel like, wow, you haven't even fixed the first one.
Where they're gone, yeah.
What are you doing? And they happen to get involved on the front end with individuals who can market really, really well, right? So they were
Yeah.
selling stuff that didn't exist. They had people who were excited about it, but it
No
fell on
support at the
deaf
back end.
ears. Yeah, so all
Yeah.
of that hard work to get a customer up front fizzled away because they were having people refund, not just refund, they were getting in Facebook groups and Twitter pages and
Complaining and
oh my
yeah.
gosh, Discord, and it was awful. And I mean, they were naming names, they were giving email addresses. I mean, it was just bad. So I think you touched on something when we're talking about a business that is built to last for a long time. We have to
Yeah.
be as concerned about supporting the new customers as we are in getting the new customers. And so if we don't know how
Yeah.
to kind of meter that, we're in trouble.
Well, personally, Brad, I think like I'm a one-man show. I do most of my stuff myself. I do my
Yep.
support, I do my customers, I do my marketing, everything, and obviously we do a few bits together. But for me, the most important part is not the marketing. It's not any of that. It's connecting with that customer.
Right.
Because if you don't, then you're going to lose them. They may not come in. You know, there's so many things. Take for example, I've had a gold member come in to my messenger the other day, and he bought in a couple of weeks ago for the lifetime deal. And straight away we got on messenger. We started talking, just general kind of chit chat. He started throwing out a few books for the publishing. And he's basically coming to me and he was asking a few questions of the things to do with the covers and how you do the covers and things. And I've shown him a few bits and I've sent him a couple of mine to give him a bit of inspiration of what's what. And then he's gone off, he's done a couple of covers, and then he's come back and he's shared the cover
Nice.
with me.
Yeah.
And I've had a look at it and it was pretty good. It's a really nice cover. It's only a basic cover, but it's really, really nice. And then he's got it uploaded to Amazon. And then when it was live, he shared with me that it's live and he sent me the link to Amazon. And without even thinking, my first thoughts was, well, he's a customer, I'm going to help him. I shared his link to my Pinterest and I've done a Twitter post and a couple of other little bits where I shared it for him.
Yeah.
And I sent a message back saying, oh, nice, I've just shared it out on a Pinterest and a couple of other bits for you. And he's come back, oh, wow, oh, that's amazing. Like, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, well, yeah, that's great that you thanked me and I appreciate that so much, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But it was a natural thing for me to do.
Right.
I had 5 minutes. It took less than 2 minutes
Right.
for me to go and share that on Pinterest, share it on Twitter.
Right.
And that's made my customers super happy.
Right.
Because I've helped him. He may get traffic. He may get a couple of sales from that.
Right.
He might not get nothing. But
Yeah.
I've done the help, you know. When was the last time you got into a program, Brad, and the person, the vendor, has gone on and said to you, look, I've just shared your link and I'll help you get a bit of traffic. When was anyone ever done that?
It doesn't normally happen. and I think it's that little stuff, right, that you care about the customer's success and you're willing to do whatever it takes to have them succeed.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And we can kind of go back and look at different things that we do and say, hey, look, we should be charging you extra for each one of these items. And over time, maybe we do. Maybe that's part of an upsell package and they just get more service. But if you have a heart to serve anyway, you're finding these things and these ways to take good care of your customers anyway. So
and that's what it boils down to at the end of the day, mate.
Right.
If you take care of them, they're going to take care of you.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah.
And if you connect with them in the right way, you know.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I was this morning before we got online. I think most of the audience knows that I help run an engineering firm as well, and the engineering process is you have all these scientists and mathematicians and people who are really kind of square, and they they care about solving the problem, but they don't necessarily care about solving the customer's problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They'll design a pipeline or a roadway, and they'll deal with some tricky stuff with the environment, but they they won't really pay attention to how are things going with the customer. And one of the things that I'm taking on this next week is actually working with my team to walk through the customer journey from this is who we are, this is how we got the job, here's how we start the job, here's how we submit different things, and over time, here's how we interact with our client. So one, we know that we're doing a good job, and two, they can give us referrals. Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in that process, like who does
And
what?
it's that point there, Brad. Sorry to interrupt,
No, that's
mate.
great.
It's that little section there where you said they give you referrals.
Yeah.
Why is that they do that? It's because you've just gone in and helped them on that
Yeah.
last little bit.
Yeah.
You've done the job, you've done what they asked, and then they will refer you because you're supporting them.
Right. Yep. They do it because you provided a solution. They are not just happy with it, they're a fan of who you are and what you do. And if you
Yeah,
can build fans, you can all of a sudden start to create this machine that just has leads coming in left and right. And it's very easy to say, hey, look, I know that you got referred by Joe or Sally or Susie, and I'm not sure I can help you, but I'll try. And
yeah, yeah.
and that's
That's all you can do, mate. That's all you can do at the end of the day. You can try, at least you're trying.
yeah,
You know, if you don't do nothing, then the customer's going to get peed off. They're going to move on to the next system.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a real issue. So one of the things that I'm part of the project stuff that I do, project management stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I do project recovery. And project
yeah,
recovery is this very funny thing, where you might get to the owner of an engineering firm, architectural firm, a construction firm, and you realize that they are so concerned about the money that they're losing on the current project that they sort of lose track of the fact that that person that's on the other end, their client that's on the other end, cost a lot of money to get them in the door, a lot of money, right? It costs
yeah.
8% of the project, and if it's $1 million project, do the math,
That's a
right?
vehicle,
That's
isn't
a
it, mate? Yeah,
lot of money.
you
It
know.
costs that much money to get them, right? If they're upset at the end of it, they could sue you, which is going to cost you probably 4 times that amount,
Yeah,
and
if you're lucky.
and they have friends, right? And they're going to tell every one
There
of their
goes your
friends, you
business.
never believe what happened. These people were jerks. I had to take them to court. I mean, really? So
That's your reputation gone, isn't it?
in a minute,
In a
in
heartbeat,
a
mate. Yeah,
minute,
you
it
know.
takes you 25 or 30 years to build a reputation, and it
Yeah,
takes like 30 seconds to destroy it, right?
gone.
And what happens, and maybe this is the lesson for me to be able to share to others that are doing service businesses. When your reputation is destroyed, what it means for you now is that you have to work extra hard to over deliver in everything that you do, because it's not
Yeah,
just enough. It's not just enough to do what you
yeah.
said you were going to do. Now you
And then,
have
like you say, you've got to do that extra work to
all.
build that back up, ain't you, mate?
Oh
And
my
it just
gosh.
makes life harder, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness. So if you had a culture internally in your own business, and you kind of took on tasks along the way that already said, I'm committed to over deliver, then all of a sudden it changes the paradigm. You're doing like just a little bit extra on every step of the way. You not only meet the promises that you made, you exceed them, and you keep yourself out of a whole lot of hot water. And sometimes,
Yeah, definitely.
sometimes you're not going to be able to make everyone happy, and I totally get that. But we can't ignore the cost of having to go get new customers and rebuild a reputation, it
Oh
is
God, yeah.
it is so expensive. And
Well, you think it's doubling your money, isn't it? Or your costs, rather, because you've done it once. Now you've got to go and do it twice over to get it back again. It's like a catch-22.
yeah, well, and it's really interesting on an engine. So in engineering, what one of the things that what you said is not just true, it's really powerful to know. It the design costs, what it takes to design a building, a roadway, an airport,
Yeah, yeah.
any of those kinds of
The
things,
blueprints and everything that
all
comes
of
in with that,
that.
it must be fortunes, isn't it?
It's fortunes, but it's not fortunes compared to the construction costs, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
cons
Material,
constru
labour and stuff. Yeah.
exactly, right? So you've got, an army of men and women who are operating machines and bringing in material. They're bringing in everything from rock to concrete to steel, and I mean, it's complicated and complex, right? Well, what's interesting is if we make a mistake on a set of plans and we put a pipe in the wrong place or a sidewalk in the wrong spot, our design fee is only about 10% of the total construction, right? So
Yeah.
so if it costs us extra, right? If we have to redo it, you're exactly right. We
Yeah.
got to do it twice. If the
So it's double
contract
labour costs, isn't it? It's double cost for materials and then whatever else
Yeah,
comes into it
if
to
the
put it right.
contractor puts it in the wrong spot to begin with, now it's really expensive, right? So for us, we're trying to make sure that we have enough quality control and that we have someone else looking over a set of plans to make sure that we've got things in the right place. But if we don't, and one of the things that's super important in all of that is that we have to be transparent with our client to say, hey, I know you want it on Friday. I haven't had a chance to look at it. It's really expensive. If I send it to you, the contractor builds it in the wrong place. Can I please have an extra day or two to make sure that it's okay the way it is?
Get it right the first time round, mate. You know, innit?
They appreciate that conversation so much more than everyone understands. Really, it's like
Yeah.
without we're in trouble.
Because if you do mess it up again, you've got to go back and have that conversation, and you kind of like, excuse the language, but you're asking the
That's
customer again, aren't you?
Well, it's a much harder conversation, right? I mean,
Yeah, definitely. It's
it's easier to
really
say,
awkward, isn't it?
"Can you give me permission to run a little bit late to make sure it's right?" Or, "Hey, I just want to let you know we found a mistake and they're in construction and we need for them to stop. We need for you to stop. We need to stop over here. Everything else we're doing, focus on this, redo it, get it out to the field. We might have to order more materials. Those guys have to be reassigned to something else. I mean, it's a disaster. So it's so much easier to get it right the first time. But
And
it's,
that boils down to just taking care of your customer, innit? Like,
yeah,
in the first place,
yeah,
and that's what this session's about, is taking care of that customer, because like you say, it's costly to get a customer. Once you've got that customer, just look after them.
yeah,
Go and connect with them, chat with them, talk to them, send them a gift, send them,
yeah.
just look after them.
And
And I think for me the main point there is talking with them,
yes,
connecting with that person,
yeah.
especially in the digital world. Might be a little bit different for your engineering because it's a lot easier out in the field, isn't it?
Well, we're a lot more digital now than we used to be just because of COVID, right?
COVID, yeah,
But
that's true.
yeah, it's just funny to me because you're talking about connecting and the challenge though. Here's the real challenge that I find is happening is individuals are embarrassed because they either overpromised and they're under delivering, or
Yeah,
they delivered something that's broken or doesn't quite work right. The embarrassment it turns into being quiet and silent and trying to fix it behind the scenes kind of before anybody else figures it out. It's
yeah, and that kind of loses the place a bit as well, doesn't it, mate? Because
oh,
you're not connected. You can just go to someone and say, look, I'm a little bit running behind.
yeah,
We've had a few things on this, we've had a few things on that, but we're working on
right,
it. Can you give us that extra day or
yeah,
two?
yeah, yeah.
Don't take much, does it?
No, it doesn't, but you have to park some of your pride at the door when you do that. And that I think is the biggest challenge is, hey, look, I'm in business for myself. I know what I'm doing. You already paid me because I'm the expert. Well, yeah, but we're also human. And that means that
That's it. Yeah, we all make mistakes, mate.
we're gonna
Yeah.
make some mistakes along the way, and things are not gonna quite go right. Yeah. So how do we do that in honesty, right? I mean, I've sent emails before and to a whole list and didn't mean to, and I had to send an apology. I've
Oh, we've both been there, mate.
yeah.
I've done that many times.
And I giggle every once in a while when I see some of that stuff, and because I know what it feels like to be on the other end, and you're trying to get it back. You're reaching through the computer. Wait, stop, don't go.
It's like if you go back over some of the old shows, Fred.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A couple that we've done on Simon Breaks Everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's mainly the email software.
Yeah.
I tend to put in 3 or 4 emails and get it running. System messes up because I broke something,
Yep.
and then I get 10 emails go out all at once.
Yep.
And then people like leave my list, and I'm thinking like,
Oh, no, yeah.
what have I done? I broke it again.
I'm using a different autoresponder right now, and I learned some hard lessons that way over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I had to get online with support, and the support's been great, but I had to get online with support. So there is the software that I'm using. I'm not gonna pump them now, but the software I'm using, if I have a new lead that comes in, and then I use a form that I have created inside the software to update their data, I unfortunately set up the campaign wrong. And when you submit the form, it sends the welcome email. Well, what I'm doing is I'm getting additional information from people as I learn it, right? So they'll send me an email, they'll give me a call, they'll send me they'll send me an IM or something, and I'll update their record. As I'm updating their record, they're getting brand new welcome to the team. I'm like, this is weird, man. What's going on? And
started over
again,
and
I had to apologize to a half a dozen or a dozen people as I realized what was going on, and the folks, support folks, they were great. It was fine, but I had to get over myself. I had to say, I'm really sorry that I don't know how to use this software, and I'm as human as you are, and I mean that's kind of embarrassing because I code software, I do all this other stuff, but it's
yeah, but like Brad, like you say, mate, you're human, and sometimes things go up the wall, don't they?
Oh gosh.
Man, the times I've broken WordPress and
yeah,
coding in there, mate, and it drives you mental sometimes. But as long as you go back and let the customer know, then I think everything's fine on that end of it.
Yeah.
As long as you're willing to swallow your pride, like you say, and go back and just explain it to them. Just say, look, we had a few techie problems, or this went up the wall, and we're trying to sort it out. Bear with us, sort of thing.
Yeah. So sort of back to one of the conversations we were having a couple weeks ago. I'm not working off any notes, but this kind of hit my mind. You had mentioned, I think it was on the last show, that you and I walked through this sort of cash flow analysis of your business with a series of goals. One of the other things that it shows in that cash flow analysis is the approximate cost of getting a customer, right? And I think that that's really important. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is sometimes it's hard for us to stomach giving away stuff, but I'm going to suggest that if we understand what those numbers are, we could even on the back end work with the customers that are referring other customers, and we can give them a portion of the money that it would cost for us to go get that customer on our own.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Kind of like an affiliate deal sort of thing.
Either an affiliate deal or a gift of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Just as a way of saying, I appreciate you, and this gift, while it may not cost as much as getting a brand new customer, it costs a lot because getting a new customer costs even more. Right? Right.
Yeah,
and if you know your numbers and you know how much they're worth, over time, how much your customer is worth over time, how much it costs to get your customer, it can give you some confidence to say, you know what, today I'm going to send a $50 gift card to this person. I'm going to send a basket of fruit. I'm going to discount their next purchase by X dollars because they were able to refer someone to me. So
Yeah,
when you think about those kinds of things, what can you do in your own business to provide that thank you to people who are giving referrals?
I would say, like you said there, mate, give them the gift. A little percentage of whatever it can earn, because long-term value, the lifetime value of that customer is worth so much more.
Yeah.
Just to give a little bit away or something
Yeah.
on the back end. Yeah, great idea.
So do you think, I don't have no answer. I'm just sort of thinking out loud. Do you think that that's like that you could set that up in a referral program, an affiliate program? How does that work? You know?
Uh, Off the top of my head, I would say it's affiliate
An
program.
affiliate program. So
Yeah, I would have thought so.
and I think you might be right. So hey, look, appreciate you, sharing this with your friends. Here's a link. If you use this link, then I'll give you, a portion of the purchase that they make. That's kind of cool. That works.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's easier to keep track of that way, I think, because there are platforms out there that will manage affiliates. Trying to
yeah,
trying to
definitely.
do
Yeah.
it manually seems a little hard for me.
It is hard doing it manually. I've had a look at a few WordPress plugins to set up an affiliate program on my
Okay.
membership.
Okay.
And I'm still kind of learning what that is to do it manually on them plugins and how it actually works.
Yeah.
But like you say, you have got other platforms. You've got JVZoo, you've got Warrior Plus, you've got ClickBank.
Yep.
The difference with them platforms as well, Brad, is the payment system.
Yes.
You've got JVZoo is manual. Once somebody makes a sale,
Yep.
you have to go in and pay them. You have to send them
Right.
the money via PayPal or check or
Right.
whatever it is there. Warrior Plus, I'm not sure because I've not launched the product on there. ClickBank does it all for you.
Yep.
They pay your referrals, their commission straight out. They do it, after they've system's gone for. I think it's an 8-week refund policy, and then they'll pay the affiliate.
Okay.
But ClickBank, once people are approved on there, I believe that they pay out every 2 weeks.
Okay.
On ClickBank.
Okay.
So if you're bringing in referrals and you get the check money, then they send you a check. Or I think the very first time on ClickBank, they pay you by check, pay affiliates by check.
Okay.
And then once that's been approved, I think you can then get into bank transfer.
Okay.
They pay you direct to the bank, I think it is.
Okay.
But I am looking into setting up on ClickBank for my membership.
Okay.
I'm sort of early stages of looking into it. Yeah. So, because someone asked me the other day, actually, one of the group members said, have I got a referral program, affiliate program?
Yeah.
Because he was looking for a membership that he could promote.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
And it kind of made me look into it a little bit as well. So
yeah. Well, I know, and you mentioned some of the platforms, not bad suggestions. They're good suggestions. That they do more than just the affiliate management, right? They're allowing you to process payments, and they handle refunds. They redirect.
Yeah.
They're sort of set up to launch software, and they'll do the open and close, do upsells and downsells, and a bunch of other things. I know that there are some other maybe simpler solutions. Thrivecart is one where you have a cart system that does it.
Right, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other carts that have an affiliate program.
Any of them,
Say again?
Yeah. I don't know any of them. I've not really tried any. I know you used that Thrivecart one.
Yeah.
Or one of the other week.
Well, I get paid by Thrivecart every month, which is great. we we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, where I, every once in a while I wake up in the morning and all of a sudden here's an announcement that something that I promoted years ago, the link is still live and people are still signing up, and I just get money every month, and I mean that's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. Do the work once, mate.
Yeah, and
Benefit in years to
sometimes
come.
sometimes when it comes, I have no idea even where it came from, which is good and bad all the same all at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You can't go and update it
It's
because you
like,
don't know where it is.
it's a nice surprise. But I think that there are other systems, and maybe what you and I can do over this next couple weeks is do some investigation of what some of those affiliate programs are. Maybe we put a blog post or something together on Across the Pond about what those alternatives are, whether you could do it, whether it's a standalone system, if it's a platform that is identified for selling, like a JV Zoo and a Warrior Forum and that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
or if maybe there's something that WordPress does and how maybe it might interact with some of the other tools that we're all using. That might be a
yeah. I know
fun blog
there's.
post.
I know it'd be nice to do that on a blog post actually, because you could list all the different
Yeah,
platforms and techniques and things to do it.
yeah,
I know WordPress. I use S2 Member, and they've got one that they link to for. I believe it's with. You have to have the Pro
yes,
S2 Member,
you do.
and I think it's called iDivi.
Oh yes,
And I think that connects to. I don't know how it works and how to use it yet, but that might be something we could look into.
yeah.
The other thing I see the other week was a couple of plugins. Let me just get my plugin list, and I'll see what ones it was.
Yeah, I think it's iDev affiliate for S2. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the one on that one, I believe.
Yeah.
I have these other plugins. Yeah, the ones for WordPress were Affiliate Manager plugin and Affiliates Manager S2 Member integration.
Okay.
I think they're two standalone plugins. I can't remember if you have to use them together for S2 Member. But yeah, that was the two that I was sort of looking into. But I think there's fair bit of coding involved in it.
Yeah.
To do the actual affiliate links and all that. And I don't know if you have to send payments manually on that.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to pay your affiliates rather than the system do it for you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I've looked in that far. Well,